सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारम् व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। With the blessings of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, all the acharyas, let us churn the butter, Geetamrita, by churning Geetarjanam, the buttermilk, the focused mind. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Devi Geetamritamte. Om Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Devi Geetamritamte. Om Bhagavate Deva. Om Namo Devi Geetamritamte. In the last class, I explained 19th to 23rd. Let us sing it with the Sharda. तस्मादसक्तः सततम्
तस्मादसक्तः सततम्
कार्यं कर्म समाचर
कार्यं कर्म समाचर
असक्तो हि आचरन् कर्म
असक्तो हि आचरन् कर्म
परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
आस्थिता जनकादयः
आस्थिता जनकादयः
लोकसङ्ग्रहम् एवापि
लोकसङ्ग्रहम् एवापि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः
यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः
तत्तदेवेतरो जनः
तत्तदेवेतरो जनः
स यत्प्रमाणं कुरुते
स यत्प्रमाणं कुरुते
लोकस्तदनुवर्तते
लोकस्तदनुवर्तते
न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यम्
न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यम्
त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन
त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन
न अनवाप्तम् अवाप्तव्यम्
न अनवाप्तम् अवाप्तव्यम्
वर्त एव च कर्मणि
वर्त एव च कर्मणि
यदि ह्यहं न वर्तेयम्
यदि ह्यहं न वर्तेयम्
जातु कर्मणि अतन्द्रितः
जातु कर्मणि अतन्द्रितः
मम वर्त्मा अनुवर्तन्ते
मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते
मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः
मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः
उत्सीदेयुरिमे लोका
उत्सीदेयुरिमे लोका
न कुर्यां कर्म चेदहम्
न कुर्यां कर्म चेदहम्
शङ्करस्य च कर्ता स्याम्
शङ्करस्य च कर्ता स्याम्
उपहन्याम् इमाः प्रजाः
उपहन्याम् इमाः प्रजाः
सक्ताः कर्मण्यद्विद्वांसो
सक्ता कर्मण्य विद्वांसो
यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत
यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत
कुर्यात् विद्वांस्तथा असक्तः
कुर्याद्विद्वांस्तथा असक्तः
चिकीर्षु लोकसङ्ग्रहम्
चिकीर्षु लोकसङ्ग्रहम्
यदि ह्यहं न वर्तेयं जातु कर्मणि अतन्द्रितः मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः यदि ह्यहं न वर्तेयं, if I don't engage myself in action, performing the duties, jatu karmani atandritaha, always in the action with care and alertness. Atandritaha. Tandrita means being lazy, idle. But atandritaha, opposite of that. Mama vartmanu vartante. My way, my path, the way I behave. Anuvartante. Follow. Who? Manushyaha patha sarvashaha. All around, always, whoever is around, they all will be following me. So, Ishvara, the teachers, acharyas, gurus, they all have to be in right action all the time, because everyone else will be look up to them as their model, and they will be following persistently. And thus Krishna is telling, I have to keep doing the work. This also shows how in the previous shloka he said, Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana na anavaptam avaptavyam varta evacha karmani. I don't have anything, any work in all the three worlds, in cosmic grandeur, in that range, in all three lokas, I don't have any kartavya, the work, it has to be done. Like that, I don't have any. Yet, I get involved in work. Still, I get continuously engaged in the work. In the same way, even within individual, if we see in the society, all people will be following Krishna. So he is answerable cosmically and individually as well. So in this, he is talking about how the individuals follow him persistently and proceed. We also see as Krishna, starting even before he entered the earth, he was in touch with the world as Ishvara, and he started his job from the time he was put in the womb of Devaki, isn't it? And how many roles he has taken to play. As a baby, also, he showed his consistent work in killing different kinds of demons sent by Kamsa. And then as friend, he guided the Gopas. And in adolescent age, he also guided Madhura Bhakti in all the gopis. And then he entered into the arena of kingship. There also he showed his leadership. So he has been continuously engaged in action as Ishvara, with the body as Krishna. So even Rama, if we take, Rama also went through the Gurukula system, and then he took the responsibility as brother, as son, as father, and also as king. And he did his duty as Uttama Purusha. So, what Krishna is telling is, even in spite of me not having any duty to be done as mandatory, I am engaging in doing the work throughout. Utsideyurime loka na kuryam karma chedaham sankarasya cha karta syam upahanya ima prajaha. Here he is giving the result, if at all, if Ishvara, Bhagavan Krishna, if he stops his work, his action, what will happen to the loka, imah loka, all these lokas, that means the whole cosmos, which has so many lokas in it, worlds in it. What happens to that? And what happens to the individuals who are following? Utsideyurime lokaha. All these lokas will get perished. They will just get destroyed. Utsideyurime loka na kuryam karma chedaham. If I don't work, if I don't get into action as Ishvara, all the lokas will perish. Sankarasya cha karta syam upahanyamimah prajaha. And I would become the creator of confusion in all beings. Here, prajaha, it is not just the human beings. Prajaha, all which have taken birth. So that means all beings of the world. They all become confused if I don't get into action. That is what he's telling here. How can we understand this? Utsideyurime loka na kuryam karma chedaham. Very recently we saw the total solar eclipse. It was only for 2 minutes in Hamilton. But the impact of the 2 minutes was so strong that there was darkness all around. There was darkness all around. When the sun is setting, only that portion of the sky would be different. But during full solar eclipse, what we saw was all around the same kind of darkness. And within 2 minutes, the temperature dropped down to such an extent that it was very chilly. It became unbearable. And again, once the sun moved out of that eclipse, again the temperature started gaining and the light started becoming brighter. So it was for only 2 minutes. Imagine if that eclipse, solar eclipse is there for hours together, for days together, what would happen? Same thing. Utsideyurime loka na kuryam karma chedaham. Isn't it? So one more example I can give. There is projector projecting the cinema on the silver screen. How is it coming on the screen? Because of the light projected on that. If there is no light, the projector might be moving the cinema reel, but it will never get projected on the screen. So the light is very, very important. It has to be there, doing its action of shedding the light. It's not doing anything else, just shedding the light on the projector so that it will reflect on the screen. In the same way, Ishvara, Bhagavan Krishna, as Parama Atma, is shedding the light on the mind and then the objects, because of which the whole cosmos, Imaloka, all the lokas are working. Individually, when we take Sankarasya cha Karta, I would become the creator of that confusion, a kind of illusion, if I don't work in praja, and I would be destroying all these prajas. How? Why? Because Ishvara, Bhagavan Krishna, is very much present within every being. Every being. There is work happening through the body and the mind. So if we take cosmically also, Ishvara as Atma has pervaded every cell, every atom of this world, because of which there is smooth, harmonious, rhythmic actions taking place, which we see in the nature. In the same way, even in beings, both living beings and non-living beings, in both, Atma is there. Because of the presence of that, there is actions happening in every being. That's what he's telling. Sankarasya cha kartasyam upahanyamimah prajaha. So if I don't get into action in every being, see how beautiful it is, how consoling it is to know every moment in every being, Ishvara is there working in action. So if you are able to realize that and lead the life, how beautiful it will be. Automatically, we are all harnessed. The mind is harnessed. The intellect is harnessed. And thus, the thoughts will be beautiful and it will be yajna bhava oriented. And the body will be doing the yajna karma. So everything will be service oriented as sacrifice. Self-dedicated actions will start taking place through every being. Just because Ishvara, Bhagavan Krishna, is working in every being and in every atom of the whole cosmos. In different ways, he is working. So, how should Arjuna take it? Krishna is telling him towards taking action as the leader, as the guide, by giving his own example, isn't it? Because Arjuna is the prince and he is heading the army. So he is holding the status as Ishvara for that action. So you follow me just like how I do the work, how I get engaged in work. Even though there's no need for me to get, there's nothing for me to get from the action. Yet I do. In the same way, you also get into this action of waging dharma yuddha. Saktaha karmani avidvamso yatha kurvanti bharata kuryad vidvams tatha sakta chikirshu loka sangraham. Saktaha are people, the ignorant ones who are attached to the karma phala. They are called saktaha. Their actions are motivated, propelled by the desire for the result, the desire for achieving, getting some phala. They are called saktaha. Those saktaha, karmani avidvamso, and they are ignorant about how karma, how the action works in this world. They don't know the theory of karma, how karma works. Without knowing that, they are getting into the action with that karma phala desire as saktaha. Their actions are like the one who is extremely looking at the reward as the goal and they want to have that. Because of that goal, they are working. Saktaha karmani avidvamso yatha kurvanti. Just like they do the work with so much of attachment towards the reward, phala, karma phala. Kuryad vidvamsah. Even the enlightened should do the work. Whatever they are doing, you also do as enlightened person. But asaktaha, without any attachment, do the same work but without attachment. Asaktaha. Chikirshu loka sangraham. Why should he do? Why should a realized person do the same work but without any attachment to the karma phala? Why should he do? Desiring the well-being, the growth of the world or the society, community. Loka sangraham. So, it is, action is the quality and the field of mind. It is the mind which gets into action. The mind will never work unless it is attached to something. Isn't it? Our every action is happening because the mind is attached to that action. If there is no connection or attachment towards that action, we will never do that action. It never occurs to us. So, mind survives through attachment. The difference between sakta and asakta is only thing is what it is attached to. The mind of the Sakta is attached towards the reward of the action. The mind of the Asakta is attached towards the well-being of the world or the well-being of the community around him to which he belongs to. But it makes so much of difference. The Sakta goes through so much of turmoil because that goal is there in his mind constantly, disturbing, distracting his process. And he gets into the negative emotions connected with getting the reward, phalapekshe, aspiring for some reward. So, Asakta will be doing the same work, but his mind is totally towards the well-being of the world. So what happens? His way of looking at the action or the work to be done will be in a holistic way, and the input through his intellect and the mind will also be in a holistic way. So nothing personally affects him. So he is joyful, peaceful, and he sees the success in his attempt to do the action. Whereas in Sakta, there is chance of he deterring from the success because his attention is on the reward. So both of them will be doing diligently, putting full effort, sincerity, enthusiasm. Everything is there in both, but we see so much of difference. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, don't think of the reward, the end of the war. What will I get from this? That will confuse you and that will make you deter from the effort which you have to put towards the action. Just do the action thinking of the well-being of the community. Then your actions will be in the right direction and the right ones. So go ahead in that, he's telling. So always the egocentric I, for me, to me, by me, me, that egocentric desire is always poisonous. That's very hard to get into our system. The first thing comes is, what is there for me? How can I get it? Or how can I avoid it? That Krishna is putting down. Here, karmani avidvamsa, that also we should see what he means by that. A person might be having all the scriptural knowledge in him. He has digested it intellectually. But his desire for worldly rewards are still very, very, very strong in him. So that means he has not really got the very essence of our scriptures. He knows, he has the knowledge, but he doesn't have the elevated understanding of the very essence of our scriptures. What is that? The essence is, I am Atma. and the whole world is there to experience, to know, to realize I am nothing but self, Atma. For that, I am having this body and the mind as instruments. The objects are also instruments. I should not identify myself with all these instruments and become the victim of the ignorance, spiritual ignorance. So, when they don't have that, naturally, they are not qualified enough to know, to experience how our each action reacts, how action is connected with karma, karma phala, which depends on many other things, which Krishna will be describing in the future chapters. So, karmani avidvamsaha, the final goal of every being, whoever has taken birth, it can be in different forms, in the sense it need not be only human being. Existence, if we are existing on this planet, it is because to realize the self. That is the final goal. If we don't understand that, if we don't feel that, experience that my goal is self-realization, naturally all the five senses will be taking me towards the sense objects in the world, and accordingly I will be working. I want this, I want that. Getting that is my goal. Getting this is my goal. So I will work towards that. That is how he works in this world. Sakta. Whereas asakta, he knows what it is. And he doesn't get into that disturbance, confusion. So, let us sing the next few. न बुद्धिभेदं जनयेत्
न बुद्धिभेदं जनयेत्
अज्ञानां कर्मसङ्गिनाम्
अज्ञानां कर्मसङ्गिनां
जोषयेत् सर्वकर्माणि
जोषयेत् सर्वकर्माणि
विद्वान् युक्तः समाचरन्
विद्वान् युक्तः समाचरन्
प्रकृतेः क्रियमाणानि
प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि
गुणैः सर्वशः
गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः
अहङ्कारविमूढात्मा
अहङ्कारविमूढात्मा
कर्ताहमिति मन्यते
कर्ताहमिति मन्यते
तत्त्ववित्तु महाबाहो
तत्त्ववित्तु महाबाहो
गुणकर्मविभागयोः
गुणकर्मविभागयोः
गुणा गुणेषु वर्तन्त
गुणागुणेषु वर्तन्त
इति मत्वा न सज्जते
इति मत्वा न सज्जते
प्रकृतेर्गुणसम्मूढाः
प्रकृतेर्गुणसम्मूढाः
सज्जन्ते गुणकर्मसु
सज्जन्ते गुणकर्मसु
तान् कृत्स्नविदो मन्दान्
तान् कृत्स्नविदो मन्दान्
कृत्स्नभिन्न विचालयेत्
कृत्स्नविन्न विचालयेत्
मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि
मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि
सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा
सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा
निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा
निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा
युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः
युद्धस्व विगतज्वरः
ये मे मतमिदं नित्यम्
ये मे मतमिदं नित्यम्
अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवाः
अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवाः
श्रद्धावन्तो न सूयन्तो
श्रद्धावन्तो न सूयन्तो
मुच्यन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः
मुच्यन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः
ये त्वेतदभ्यसूयन्तो
ये त्वेतभ्यसूयन्तो
ये त्वेतदभ्यसूयन्तो
ये त्वेतदभ्यसूयन्तो
नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम्
नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम्
सर्वज्ञानविमूढांस्तान्
सर्वज्ञानविमूढान्तान्
विद्धि नष्टान चेतसः
विद्धि नष्टान चेतसः
सदृशं चेष्टते स्वस्याः
सदृशं चेष्टते स्वस्याः
प्रकृतिं ज्ञानवानपि
प्रकृतेर्ज्ञानवानपि
प्रकृतिं यान्ति भूतानि
प्रकृतिं यान्ति भूतानि
निग्रह किं करिष्यति
निग्रह किं करिष्यति
इन्द्रियस्येन्द्रियास्यार्थे
इन्द्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्थे
रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ
रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ
तयोर्नवशमागच्छेत्
तयोर्न वशमागच्छेत्
तौ ह्यस्य परिपन्थिनौ
तौ ह्यस्य परिपन्थिनौ
श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः
श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः
परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात्
परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात्
स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः
स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः
परधर्मो भयावहः
परधर्मो भयावहः
न बुद्धिभेदं जनयेत् अज्ञानां कर्मसङ्गिनां जोषयेत् सर्वकर्माणि विद्वान् युक्तः समाचरन्. So he's further telling Krishna, na buddhi bhedam, there should not be unsettlement of mind, confusion, conflict, janayet, should not be created in ajnanam, one who is attached to karma phala and who is doing the karma. He is ajnani. So in him, na buddhi bhedam janayet. One should not create that confusion in his mind. Karma sanginam, because he is attached so much to the reward of the karma. He is attached to karma in the wrong way. So in him, one should not create the confusion. Joshayit sarva karmani. He should be encouraged to get into action. Sarva karmani, in all actions, he should be encouraged. Vidwan yuktaha, one who is vidwan, one who is knowledgeable, one who has experienced how to perform an action. Samacharan, he should work with equanimity, with balanced mind. He should work, be the role model, be an example to those people who are ajnani, who is karma sangi, who is attached. For them, he should be like the role model, showing how to work, how to apply the mind and the intellect, how to proceed in taking the action. What should be the motive? That also he should be able to show them and guide them. So enlightened one should also be working, perform the action, but with equanimity. So how can we understand why the karma sangi or the ajnani should be encouraged to do the actions? Because Krishna is driving them towards understanding life is nothing but the flow of action, like a river. It keeps flowing. Without action, there is no life. And life is nothing but flowing action. That is so sure. So, just because the enlightened one comes with so much of enthusiasm, passion about his own concept of enlightenment, what he has realized or what his ideals are, if he comes and asks the person, whatever you are doing with attachment to the karma phala is not at all good for you, stop it. Don't do all those things. Just give up. If he says that, he's doing nothing but creating confusion in the mind. No doubt, he is doing the work in the wrong way. Instead of stopping abruptly, like if we gushing river is flowing with so much of water in it, force in it. If we suddenly, abruptly stop the flow, what will happen? It becomes erratic. Same thing will happen to the persons who are working with so much of enthusiasm, passion, diligently, sincerely. But the motive is karma phala. It's in the wrong direction. So instead of abruptly stopping them, he should be encouraged to do the work. Along with that, the realized person should also get into the work and slowly guide them, herd them in the right path and slowly deviate from the path which they have taken. So individuals as community, as society are working. They are passionate. They are working. But if it is going in a different direction which is not correct, the realized person, the leader, the guide, guru, should also get into the same stream of life, move with them, slowly make them understand the direction is not right in which they are moving, and gradually change them and their path. That way, there will not be too much of confusion. He will be carrying on the work. But slowly, he should be polished, given the education, the knowledge. This is not the way to do it. You can try this. When he tries, give more push towards, turn more, turn more. So that way, there will be friendship between the guru and the shishya, the guide and the follower, leader and the follower. And they can move smoothly with harmony and rhythm instead of abruptly stopping them. Always doing the action is superior to inaction. That is what we understand in this. Na buddhi bedam janayet. Even if Guru has so much of compassion, oh my God, he's such a nice person. I want to help him by giving him instant knowledge. So that is wrong. Because it creates nothing but buddhi veda. That should not be done. One should be guided carefully, step by step, moving with them, doing the same things, but the motive is different from that ignorant. प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणैः कर्मणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढात्मा कर्ताहमिति मन्यते. So here he is making it more clear. प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः. All the actions, all karmas take place because of they are performed by the gunas, which are very much part and parcel of Prakriti, the nature. It is the gunas of Prakriti, the disposition of that nature, which performs the action, all actions. Whereas man who is deluded by egoism, with spiritual ignorance, ahankara vimudhatma, one who doesn't have the knowledge about Atma or who he is in reality, eternal reality, he is vimudhatma. And he is ahankari as well. Ahankari means he's thinking, I am the body, I am the mind. So I am the one who is doing. Whatever his body is doing, whatever his mind is doing, he thinks and says, I am the one who is doing. Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham, karta aham. I am the doer. Kartaham iti manyate. He thinks, he considers, he feels, he experiences like that. So, throughout third chapter, what Krishna is telling us is about how to get into the action, how to behave ourselves in this world as an individual. He has given so much of importance for yajna bhava, yajna karma, atmarpana karma, asakta karma. He has been teaching. It is easy to listen. It is easy to put in the intellect. But to bring it to action, it's very difficult. Very difficult. So even for that, in the next verses, he gives the method how to get over that ahankara vimudhatma, kartaham, giving up that ignorant mind. Prakritehe kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvashah. It is Prakriti who is the director and the performer of all actions. How is she doing? By inducing three gunas. Which are they? It is Sattva guna, which is goodness. Rajo guna, which is passion. And Tamo guna, which is ignorance. All the three gunas she induces in people. And accordingly, they do the actions. So, each and every action is performed by the gunas of that Prakriti. So, Prakriti is the director as well as the performer of all actions. It is not I who is doing it. If you take, for example, all the physiological actions which are taken within when we are sleeping, when we are dreaming, that is also done automatically. How is it going on? It is going naturally. What do you mean by that? Through Prakriti. And walking, talking, speaking, all these things are also happening as Prakriti guides and performs. But we think I am speaking, I am walking, I am eating, all those things. But in reality, even that is performed by Prakriti. So, mind, body, and the senses are the yantra through the mechanism of Prakriti. It keeps performing the actions, but we don't realize it. We become one with the body, one with the mind, and we assert the doership, karta. One can ask, why then does the soul, if it is not the doer, why is it claiming that all the activities are done? The soul here means the jiva, the false I. Because that false I is believing that I am the body, I am the mind, it is claiming that false I with ignorance. Ego I, egoistic I is the one which is, who is claiming that I am the doer. If that is the case, it is Prakriti who is performing. In that case, why the soul is, if the soul is non-doer, then why is it given the barrier of that karma? Because again, the soul, the jiva, is only shedding the light of consciousness on the mind. And it is the mind which is projecting and getting into the action. But if that light of consciousness is not there, the mind will not be working. So it is like this: car and the car driver. It is the driver who is making the car move forward. Even though it is the car which is doing the action of moving, because it is possible for the car to move because there is a driver. Even when accident happens, it is the driver who will be taken into custody, not the car. In the same way, even though the Atma is only giving the ray of consciousness on mind, that becomes the responsible person. So, without understanding that everything is happening through the gunas projected by the mind, which belongs to none other than Prakriti. So, if we know the bifurcation between the pure soul and the Prakriti, that line should be very clear in us. I am the soul, using the Prakriti. That Prakriti is none other than the physical body and the mind and the objects in the world, everything other than soul is Prakriti. So everything else becomes nothing but instrument. That discrimination should be there in us. Tattva vittu mahabaho gunakarma vibhagayoho guna guneshu vartanta iti matva na sajjate. Tattva vittu. Tattva is the eternal reality, which is Atma. Sat, Chit, Atma. Or Parama Atma. Tattva. Vittu, one who knows that eternal reality. O Mahabaho, one with mighty, powerful shoulders, the arms. Guna Karma Vibhaga Yoho, one who knows the division of the gunas, how it works. Guna Guneshu Vartanta iti Matva, knowing that always the guna is working around, running around amidst the gunas. Na sajjati, he doesn't become attached to the karma or to the karma phala. He is away from it. So what we can understand here is one who knows very clearly how guna karma vibhaga yoho, how the division of the gunas, the disposition of the mind which belongs to the nature, Prakriti, and how it works, the gunas, how it works. If one has the clear understanding of that, they know it is the gunas in me which is running around, acting around amidst the objects also as gunas. So he realizes the soul, I am, is different from the gunas which are projecting the desires towards the objects also, which is nothing but the gunas. That is why guna, guneshu. Guna is sense organs, we can take it. The mind with sense organs. Guneshu, in the sense objects. So it is so clear. Krishna is telling it very clearly here. Everything is nothing but sattva, rajas, tamas, which are working through the mind towards the gunas which are attracting the sense organs as objects. So once he knows this, na sajjante, matva, knowing this, na sajjante, he never sajjate, he will never get attached to the karma phala, the reward of the karma, because he knows all the actions karma is happening connected with the gunas. I am pure Atma. So there is no connection. It is the mind, which is also part and parcel of Prakriti. It is the Prakriti which is guiding the gunas to work amidst all the sense objects. I can give you one very nice example as this spring. A person with heightened sattva guna, when he sees the mango tree with so many mangoes, he says, how beautiful the sight is. The Vasanta Ritu has already come. This mango tree, it needs care in water. How beautiful it is. The Rajoguna heightened mentality, a person with heightened Rajoguna, he says, my goodness, all these mangoes are so juicy, plumpy, looks so fresh. Let me pick them up and keep it inside so that the evil eye of people will not fall on the mangoes. Let me pluck it and keep. The Tamo Guna heightened mind says, the mangoes, the branches with mangoes have come over my fence. When the neighbor is not there, let me steal all the mangoes and have to myself. The realized soul, what his mind says. Wow, the Vasanta Ritu has already arrived. Prakriti is smiling on all the beings. How beautiful it is. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. So beautiful. See, the mango tree, the mangoes are one and the same. But the heightened guna in each person is different, and accordingly, they are getting into the action. So what can we understand by this? The Atma in all the four categories are one and the same. It is only one. But it is the mind with heightened guna which is making them see it in a different way. And his actions and his mental projection of the world will be different. So that is what he's saying here. Tattvaviktu Mahabahu, the one who is knowledgeable in that reality. Guna Karma Vibhagayoho, the one who knows the division of dispositions of nature. Guna Guneshu Vartanta, it is the sense organs as gunas which are roaming amidst Guneshu, the sense objects. Iti matva, knowing this very well, na sajjate, he does not get attached. So, phala, whether it is positive or negative, it doesn't attract the realized person, tattvavit. He doesn't get impacted. And here Mahabahu, see the way Arjuna is addressed, Mahabahu. Mahabahu, one who has the mighty arm. That means he is very valorous, powerful, perfect prince, a great warrior. That is the base. That is what he is with so much of Rajo Guna. But the way he is behaving right now is with so much of fear, confusion. So the heightened Tamoguna has eclipsed the mind of Arjuna. To take out that eclipse, clouding from Arjuna, he is reminding, Krishna is reminding, O Mahabahu, this is how Tattvavit behaves. So you also become the Tattvavit. Prakrite guna sammudhaha sajjante gunakarmasu tan kritsnavido mandan kritsnavit na vichalayet. So, Prakriti Guna Sammudha, one who is deluded by, one whose mind is deluded by the Guna, Prakriti's Guna, Sajjante, they become attached to Guna Karmasu, to the Gunas which are prompting him to do the actions. In that he becomes attached. His actions are propelled by Guna, what is manifested in him or which is heightened in him. Accordingly, he does the action. Prakrite Guna Sammudhaha, one who is deluded by the Guna, like Arjuna is. Even though he is Mahabaho, he is not experiencing that he is Mahabaho. He is totally deluded by the Tamoguna, which is right now high in him. Prakrite Guna Sammudhaha Sajjante Guna Karmasu Tan Kritsna Vido, Tan, on those people, Kritsna Vido, one who knows the whole truth. Mandan, those dull-witted people, na vichalaye, they should not be disturbed. So this realized person who knows the whole truth, what a karma is, how it is done by the gunas, how it is under the control of the Prakriti, when he knows fully, he should not disturb or shake, give a jolt, vichalayet, na vichalayet, because they are totally deluded and they are getting attached to the karmas which are propelled by the gunas. So, what can we understand by this? A guru, a leader, guide, Ishvara, all are doing their job to lift up the followers or the students, devotees. But the way the gurus or the teachers should follow it, Krishna is giving them the instruction. Guru might feel he is so intelligent, he is understanding whatever I am telling him. He's a brilliant student. He has to be taught the highest knowledge which are there in the scriptures. So I want him thoroughly to be with me only in my ashrama or in my school, in my house, so that all 24 hours I can be controlling him and teach him because he is so brilliant. And he cannot ask him to become the sannyasi at once. Renouncing all other work, come and stay with me in my ashrama as a renounced person. Why? He might be bright. He might be really dedicated student. But if his vasana is towards experiencing the wedded life, then it is not correct at all for the guru to make him stop what the work he is doing outside, at the same time learning the scriptures and everything. So, Prakrite Guna Sammudaha, he is still under the control of Prakriti, where his vasana to experience the wedded life is still there in that student. Sajjante Guna Karmasu. So he will be doing all the work according to fulfilling that married life, how it is possible. He will be working, earning, and keeping his mind like a youth. He is still under that Prakriti. For him, na vichalaye. He should not be disturbed. Let him experience. Let me have the patience to take him at the right time when he is ready after experiencing that. So, Prakriti, the river of life, should keep flowing. Accordingly, a teacher or the guru has to lead them, not abruptly jolting them or creating disturbance in their ongoing life. One has to be careful. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyaadhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatajjunaha. Arjuna, you are the leader, you are the prince, no doubt. But Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya. Surrender, renounce all karmas, what you are doing as an offer, and place it in me. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya. You surrender it to me, offer it to me. Not taking that I am the karta, I am doing it. Without that, surrender it to me. With Adhyatma Chetasa, mind being centered on Atma, on the soul. Nirashi, that is, without no desire or no hope. Nirmama, without egoism. To me, for me, it is mine. So I have to get it. Mama, mamatva. That mamatva comes because of that egoism. Nirashi, nirmamo bhutva, yudhyasva. You get into this action of waging war. Vigatajvaraha, having no feverish anxiety. Vigatajvaraha. Because Arjuna is so anxious about what will happen at the end of the war. Is it going to be good for me? What is it left for me to enjoy? All these anxieties is making him become feverishly anxious, leaving all those things. Without that, just get into the war by having no desire. Asha. Desire is always belonging to the future, isn't it? I desire to have that. I desire to do this. So it is in future. So the desire belongs to the future. It is connected with the future. Mamatva, that ego, I, for me. All these things come because of the memory of the past happening. Memory and recreating the memory, reliving the memory of past happenings, past things which has already taken place as past. Leaving both Asha about the future, Mamatva about the past, be in the present, Adhyatma Chetasa, be in the present, concentrating totally on the Atma. You are nothing but Atma. Who is that Atma? Who is very much Krishna. So, having your mind focused on Atma, Atma Chetasa, Mai Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya. Leave, just rest all the karmas, whatever you are doing, in me. That me is nothing but the Ishvara. It is not Krishna as an individual who is telling Mai, in me. He is not telling that. He is Ishvara, the pure Parama Atma, which is very much there within. Isn't it? In the previous shloka, we studied how Ishvara is in everyone, and because he is acting every second, nanosecond, we are human beings. Arjuna is also working because of that Krishna is very much present as Ishvara, Atma. See how beautiful it is. In the stature as Ishvara, he is saying, Mai Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya Adhyatma Chetasa. So, understand that soul, which is eternal, and its presence is very much there as present tense. Vartamana. That Asha, Mamatva belong to the past tense and the future tense. Don't live in that, because both of them belong to the mind, which is only Prakriti. No point in getting attached to that Asha and Mamatva. Leave that aside. Nirmamo, Nirasha, Bhutva, Adhyatma Chetasa. With that, surrender all things to the Atma and go ahead. Yudhyasva Vigatajvaraha, without any anxiety, without any feverish fear. Go ahead in this Dharma Yuddha. Ye me matamidam nityam anutishtanti manavaha shraddhavanto anasuyanto muchyante tepi karmabhihi. Ye me matamidam, whoever, matamidam, the teaching of mine, my opinion, my principle, what I am telling you, the teachings of mine, nityam anutishtanti, whoever follows it always, in every instance, manavaha, the person, the human being, shraddhavanto, one who is with full faith in the mata which Krishna is telling just now, anasuyanto, without any bitterness or criticism or unkind words towards the opinion what Krishna has said just now. Tepi, even they, karma bihi muchyante, even they are liberated from the bondage of actions. It is so true, because he is giving the assurance, tepi, even them, who people, manavaha, people who constantly, always follow the opinion which I told now about what action is, in what way it has to be done correctly. That if they are able to follow Shraddha, with Shraddhavantu, with Shraddhe. Shraddha is what? The faith. Faith is nothing but the ability to understand and digest mentally and intellectually what the teacher is telling, what the scripture is telling, what Krishna is telling. One has to understand with it, and he should have the heart, mind, and intellect to know that, yes, it is right, it is working, it will work for me. I know it for sure. I am going to follow it. That is faith. Full understanding, comprehending it nicely, intellectually. That is faith. It should be to the extent that whatever Krishna is telling as mata, his opinion, right now I might not be able to understand it. But certainly, if I progress in my sadhana, spiritual sadhana, I will be able to understand it. So, with full faith, let me follow. That is Shraddha. As Anasuya, if we start criticizing Asuya, What is it? Criticizing something shows that intellectually we are rejecting it. When do we do that? When the mind is not comprehending fully what the Guru is telling. It happens, and I have seen so many people saying straight away, oh, that teacher is not at all good. He's not teaching anything properly. That Guru who gives so much of lectures, I don't think he's a real Guru. I don't want to go to that Swamiji, this Swamiji. They keep telling this, criticizing or foo-fooing. They are not understanding when millions of people are following that teacher or guru or the guide, there must be something in him which is so true, because of which millions of people are following him. So, millions of people are better knowledgeable, or one person who is criticizing the guru whom these many people are following. So, just because he is not able to understand what that guru is telling, he is rejecting him as he is incorrect. That is asuya. That type of asuya one should not have, if at all he wants to come up in life. If one is open-minded, what Krishna is telling, what is he telling? I am not understanding it right now. But let me put my effort again and again, again and again. Then I will understand, and maybe it will help me to improve. Let me carefully listen to what Krishna is telling. Let me understand. Let me comprehend. So this approach, positive approach towards what he's telling, is anasuya, with shraddha. Those people will also get liberated from the hold of actions as bondage. Ye tu etat abhyasuyanto nanutishtanti me matam. But whoever criticizes nanutishtanti and don't follow me matam, my opinion, sarvajnana vimudha, blind to all knowledge, sarvajnana vimudha, vidhi, understand, know it, that nashtan achetasaha, they are senseless people who will get ruined for sure. So, what is Krishna is telling here? Ye me matamidam. Which is that mata? One should be nirashi, nirmama, with adhyatma chetasa. Being focused in atma, present. Becoming nirashi, nirmama, one who follows the action. And that is the opinion or the principle, the teaching which Krishna is giving. Yetad, whoever doesn't follow this mata, na anutishtanti me matam Sarvajnana Vimudha Tan Vidhi, those amudhas, Nashtan Achetasaha. They are senseless and they are bound to get ruined. That's what he's telling. What Krishna is telling, teaching in this Gita is nothing but the core truth, the very essence of who I am, what this world after all is, who that Ishvara is, what this action, what my interaction in this world is creating on me. All these things he is clearing off from confusion. So it is natural. Krishna Mata, what he is telling in Bhagavad Gita, has to be the truth. And there is no other way which can be the truth. The truth. So where is the possibility of having ashraddha or asuya? It is only the ignorance, the spiritual ignorance, understanding of the Atma is giving way for asuya and ashraddha. And that type of people are bound to get ruined. Achetasaha, that is also very important. One who is devoid of discrimination. What is true? What is illusion? What is created and who is the creator? What is action and who is the performer? If we are very clear about this every moment of our life, naturally, even the actions, what we do will be without attachment. But with so much of cloud, we are not able to discriminate between what is right and what is wrong, what is black and what is white. So it is the defect of material intelligence, which is pride, the ego, the false I, which is thinking that I am the eternal presence, I am the Ishvara of this body, I am the Ishvara of this mind, and whatever I am seeing all around is there to serve me. It belongs to me. It has to be in me. All this chain of thoughts and actions are coming to exist in one's mind as spiritual ignorance, because we are not having the clarity in knowing who I am. So it is rejecting straight away that it's not right. It is not happening to me. So I don't want it. It is nothing but spiritual ignorance. Otherwise, there is no way one can reject what Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita about this mata, means opinion, the teaching. the material mind, the material intellect, this material body has only two things it does readily. With desire towards the karma phala, it gets into action. Or totally it rejects, I can't do it, I don't want it. But we don't know how to go in between and carry on the karma, which is leading us to the cycle of birth and death, again. Because we are creating more and more thoughts and actions into our mind. We will not sit in peace until we achieve it or accomplish it. But everything is not possible. So we are caught in that web of karma. So many jannas. Om Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Geetam